Welcome to the final module of EPY 150. What's next? Now for a word on homework. In one of the final homework assignments, I'm asking you to create an annotated bibliography. So for those of you who don't know what that is, I have uploaded a handout from OWL at Purdue University that gives a 3-page summary of what you need to do for an annotated bibliography using APA citation format style. So the first idea in this suggested process for homework 9 is to choose a topic. Now, it's pretty wide open. You can choose a career topic, something related to the career of your choice, or it could be related to almost any subject in EPY 150. This ranges from everything from suicide prevention to stress reduction to anxiety management to the best methods of taking calculus tests. Whatever it is that's interesting to you, please choose a topic that's interesting to you. Next, I suggest that you talk to reference librarians. They are the gods and goddesses of information. If you happen to be on campus, you can talk to them in person. But for some of you, because you're taking an online class or you're listening to this online, you don't have to go in there. You can actually send a quick email. And I'm going to demonstrate for you where you can find the right email address for them and see some quick links to information on the WNC library webpage, because our librarians are just awesome and they really want to help you. So take advantage of this and ask them a question, ask them for help. This will speed up the research process and it will allow you to ensure that you are finding credible sources for your project. Then you will create a 2-page summary of what you found out about your topic of interest. Summarize your findings, and then prepare an annotated bibliography of 5 references in alphabetical order. And you have a nice little sample there in the handout that I have just uploaded to the module. So I have an image of the WNC website. So go to the quick link for the library page, and this is what you should see. The library page has so much information. So notice all of the links to information on topics, APA style, a bunch of other things. Then in the upper right-hand corner of the page, I want you to see the little button that says Ask a Librarian. Click on that Ask a Librarian, and then you will see this next page, which is the information on how to contact a reference librarian. So take advantage of this. You can ask for their help via email. The big idea for this module is, what have you learned about yourself this semester? In the final chapter, chapter 12, it's really all about what's next. What have you learned about yourself? And there's lots of things that have gone on this semester. Some things that you've noticed about yourself you've taken on board. Maybe you've changed some things about yourself. Some of the things you haven't changed about yourself. So it really doesn't make any sense to spend any time with recriminations or woulda, coulda, shoulda. But what is it that you want from here on out? How can you be excellent for the last part of this semester? And how can you get what you want in the future? So use the opportunities in the last few homework assignments to really engage and summarize and reflect on what you've learned about yourself this semester. The power process idea for chapter 12 is Be It. So the idea is that to tap into its full benefits, that we should consider how most of our choices for what we're doing in college fall into 3 categories. We can focus on increasing our material wealth, what we have. Some of you are going to school so that you can have greater earning potential over your lifetime. Some of you are going to school to improve your skills, what we do. But there's also a section of college where it's all about developing our being, who we are. So if we were face-to-face right now, I would probably ask all of you to consider the last type of being, the last idea in be it power process. Can you think of an example of some way in which you would like to develop your being this semester? The future awaits. What do you want to do with it? Career planning is interesting. It's kind of a paradox. You think it's in the future, but actually you know a lot about it right now. And it's important to do as much as you can for your future career plans now. My suggestion is that you try out this little work values activity. I've uploaded it to the module so you can check it out. So print it off and see that there are a list of values, and what you're going to do is you're going to bid on them. You're going to take a hypothetical $1,000 and split it up 5 ways, but not 5 even ways. The whole idea behind this is that it's forcing you into making a decision about what values you have in your work life. What kinds of things do you want to be doing? Do you want to focus on creativity? Do you want to focus on financial reward, stability? This is a really cool exercise. So print it off and do it and reflect on these ideas of what are your work values. So now I wanted to mention a book that's been republished for over 25 years, and it's called What Color is Your Parachute by Richard Bowles. I recommend this if you're changing career, if you're considering a new career, if you're just really unsure of what you want to do, or even if you're just trying to retrain and re-gear up into the working world. Check out this book. It's very helpful. It's a great guide for career hunting. The reason why I have it on this slide is that I wanted to recommend an idea that Richard Bowles talks about as another way to get at this piece of examining your career. So one of the exercises that he recommends doing is first considering, let's say, 3 experiences that you've had in your life that you really enjoyed. You were doing something where you felt totally engaged and connected and it made you happy. So, first job, identify those experiences. Second job is to describe those experiences. No more than a paragraph. Take a little bit of time. Third job is to go through those descriptions of those experiences and highlight, underline all the action verbs. What were you doing? What activities were you engaged in when you were involved in those experiences that really, really made you happy? Try it out. It's really a cool process. So the book suggests, Dave Ellis suggests, that career planning is a choice, not a discovery. So what this really suggests is we don't just stumble upon what we're going to do. What we're going to do, our career, is a series of decisions that we make. So one of the things that we're doing right now in college is selecting the courses that not only meet degree requirements, but also those courses which build up our transferable skills. So look on page 355 to 356. Peruse the list of transferable skills. Ask yourself this question. What skills have you gained this semester? In any of the classes that you're taking, ask yourself that question as you look at that article. Have you used any of those skills in this class? In another class? The big idea, sometimes students say, oh, I'm required to do that and I don't really want to take that. But the point is, some of the classes that you're taking are not important for the content of specific content matter, but they're designed to help you consider what it means to be human, to develop critical thinking and reading skills, and to practice these transferable skills that you can utilize in your future careers. So on this slide, I've listed in the left-hand column the categories that organize the article on page 355 to 356 on transferable skills. Self-discovery and self-management, time management, reading, note-taking, test-taking, thinking, communicating, money skills. What categories have you covered this semester? We've covered all of these in this class. What about some of your other classes? Now I'm going to recommend that you actually go back to the exercise that I recommended by Richard Bowles and ask yourself this. Do you see, if you took the time to do the Richard Bowles exercise, which would be to identify 3 experiences that you've had, describe them, and then underline, identify the action verbs. Do you see any of those action verbs on the list of transferable skills? Aha! We're getting closer. So, one of the other areas in which you can use transferable skills is in building your resume. So you can see how there's many layers in which this concept of action verbs, transferable skills, things that you like to do, things that you're learning in college, how you can utilize them in many areas related to career development. Which brings us to building a resume. Building a resume is all about putting down your skills and using this idea of keeping track of your transferable skills and the ones that you gain each semester are ways that you can utilize not only your work experience but also your college classroom experience to help you build your resume. And what is the purpose of a resume? It's so that you can get an interview. Now, Richard Bowles has lots of great information about how resumes are not the only way to get your foot in the door. So definitely take the time to check out what Richard Bowles has to say. But invariably, everyone needs to have a resume. So here are some more ideas about that. If you don't already have a resume, you really should take the time to create one. And here's a rather helpful checklist to include your contact information, state your objective, which is really your purpose behind the resume, focus on what you can do, highlight your experience, education, include references. But the big idea is to use words that are active, use active verbs, and make sure to have someone proofread your resume. There's nothing worse than having a mistake on your resume.